Hi everybody, I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about your Week 6 open-ended math prompt response and group work assessment. We've covered all this information in class, but I wanted to just make sure you were very clear on what you needed to turn in on any particular day by the end of the unit. So the first step that I'd like to review is that you do need to complete the open-ended prompt before the next class, because you need to have that completed prompt for your peers to evaluate. If it's not complete, they have nothing to evaluate. At the end of the unit, you will submit that completed response in Schoology, along with the score that you got from your group. So that is the first 4 points for this assignment. At the end of the unit, you will need to turn in the completed prompt and the overall score from your group. And that's an average of those scores. So here, if your 3 peers in the group scored you a 2, 3, and a 2, you would take the average, add up those 3 totals, divide by the number of peers. Your score would be 2.33. The other 4 points comes from the score that you gave your group work each day according to those 3 group rubrics. So the prompt that you were responding to is also enclosed here. It's also attached directly in this homework assignment. Remember, the idea here is the area. The triangle has the area overall of 12 feet squared. What's one possible base and height that would yield that area? You do have to show all of your work, and that's worth 2 points. 1 point for a correct answer, 1 point for showing the correct work. So according to the PSSA Math Rubric. The second part is worth also 2 points. If the base of the triangle is doubled but the altitude of the base is unchanged, what would the new area be? Show all of your work and explain your reasoning. So on the PSSA Math Rubric, it's a half a point for the correct answer, a half a point for correct work, and 1 point for correct explanation. If you do not have all of that, you cannot get the highest possible score on the Math Rubric. One thing we had mentioned repeatedly over the past couple of weeks was the need for us to evaluate effort in order to improve achievement. So we said your score is not just based on correctness, but also on your explanation. And so if you're not putting in the full effort, you might not be including the full explanation. So we said if we're scoring a 4, 3, 2, 1 on the effort rubric, did you work on the task till it was completed? Did you push yourself to work even when it got hard? Did you work on the task until it was completed but didn't really push yourself further? Did you put in some effort but stop when it got hard? Or did you put little effort into the task? If you find that you're scoring yourself a 2 or a 1, I would consider reattempting that problem with increased effort. And do be honest with yourself on that. Now, the last thing that we need to talk about with rubrics are these group work rubrics. There are 3 of them: the group work rubric, the group maintenance rubric, and the interpersonal skills rubric. And that is going to be the second component that you turn in at the end of this unit. So completed prompt and the score that your group gave you for that prompt, and your score of the group work. So we'll take a look at these 3 rubrics, make sure you know how to score your group each day, and know how to format that information so that it's easy for your teacher to see and determine how you rated your group. Alright guys, so here it is. Here are 3 rubrics. The group work rubric basically looks at your ability to communicate commitment to the group as a whole group, making sure that you are effectively carrying out assigned roles, and identifying group goals. So as always, we're aiming for that 4 or that 3 here, but be honest, if your group is not carrying out the assigned roles, if they are not communicating commitment to the group goals, or if you do not even have enough information to make a judgment, then yes, you are going to be scoring a little lower there, a 2, a 1, or a 0. But if you think your group is communicating the commitment to the group goals, working hard, and actively identifying the group goals, then a 4 is certainly appropriate. The next one that we had talked about, and we're just reviewing here briefly, is the rubric for interpersonal skills. So are you actively, as a group, promoting effective group interaction and participating in group interaction without prompting? Meaning you just jump into it, you know what you need to do, or if you don't, you make sure that you ask questions, but you don't fumble around saying, oh, well, what are we supposed to do? Or, hey, Susie May, where's your contribution? Right? So you don't want to see everybody needing prompting in order to participate effectively. You jump into that group, you understand your task, and you get down to business. So again, a 4 or 3 is our goal. If you find, though, that your group members are participating in group interaction with prompting, you find that they are not participating, then a 2 or a 1 or a 0 might be more appropriate. Finally, we have our rubric for group maintenance, where we see that the group takes initiative to identify changes or modifications necessary in the group process to work and works towards carrying out the changes. So does your group kind of monitor itself? If they excel at this, if your group excels, you yourself included, then you would give a 4. A 3, also still very good here, means that your group identifies changes and modifications and works towards carrying out those changes. So they do what they need to do. The 2, 1, and 0, as usual, are what we are trying to more or less avoid. But the 2 means that there's some prompting required in order for this maintenance to occur. A 1 signifies that there is no attempt to identify changes, and a 0 means you don't even have enough information to make that judgment. So 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. Then finally, guys, let's wrap it up. After you have had your last Emerging Minds class of the week, you simply need to check and make sure that you have everything you need to submit. Do you have your completed individual prompt? Do you have your total average score from your group members that we discussed at the beginning? And do you have your group's rating for all 3 rubrics for each day you met? For example, if you met Tuesdays and Thursdays, you could copy and paste my little outline here from the document and write, here's what I gave my group on Tuesday for group maintenance, here's what I gave them on Thursday, here's what I gave them on Tuesday and Thursday for interpersonal skills and group work. That's all you need to have, but you do need to submit that with the rest of your work. So please don't forget, you're working to get a total of 8 points. 4 points for your individually completed prompt and the score from your group. 4 points for the score you gave your group each day for the rubrics. So if you can check this off, click, click, and click, then you're ready to submit your work. Please email me with any questions you have. Beyond that, fantastic work, guys. You've done a great job so far. Keep it up. I look forward to more great things from you in the future with individual and cooperative learning. Good luck on everything and have a super rest of your week.